Have you ever wondered why people who struggle financially still invest in high end designer goods? I'm talking luxury bags, designer clothes, premium trainers or sneakers if you're in the US. And it just got me thinking that there has to be a deeper story behind this kind of behavior. So, the aim of today's vlog is that we're going to explore the psychological, the societal pressures, and the perceptions that drive people to still buy these designer goods, even if it doesn't align financially with their budgets. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the psychological appeal because I think this is a huge one. Now, typically, designer goods are associated with success, wealth, and power. And if you've got someone who feels very undervalued or overlooked in society, by owning one of these items, it can create a false sense of validation. So it's not just about the product, it's about what the product can represent. So, for example, if you've got somebody who owns a Louis Vuitton bag or a high end pair of Jordans, it's not just about the item, it's about the statement that the item represents. It says, I'm successful, I belong, I've made it. Even if we go beyond the status that these designer items are trying to represent, there's an emotional high for some people. Buying a designer item can trigger a dopamine rush, and that will give people a temporary sense of happiness or maybe even escapism from their daily struggles. Now, psychologists have actually given a term for this kind of behavior, and it's called retail therapy. I mean, it's real, guys. I'm sure you've heard that term. So what this basically means is that in the moment, for some people, owning something exclusive can make them feel special, even if they know it's not the most practical financial thing that they've ever done. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about both the cultural and the societal influence that these items place upon people. Unfortunately, we live in a world where consumerism just dominates. And we also live in a world where people's success is marked by what they own. And I think one of the big problems we have here is that social media has just amplified this problem. You scroll through Instagram as an example, and you are going to be bombarded by so-called influencers wearing high-end clothing, luxury watches, driving fast cars, and promoting these high-end lifestyles. And what this does is it creates a culture where people start to compare what they've got against what they're seeing. Okay, if we go even deeper than the comparisons that we were just talking about, in some communities, these designer brands hold a lot of weight. They hold a lot of clout. They're not just luxury items. They're your ticket to acceptance and respect. Now, if we imagine certain environments, let's say a deprived urban environment, these objects are not just material possessions. These are possessions that define your status. And for a lot of these people, particularly young people, if you're not seen wearing these brands or this particular item, you simply don't fit in. You are outed, you are bullied. So the societal pressure for particularly these young people to buy these brands is immense. Okay, next up, I want to address the elephant that's in the room, and that is financial mismanagement, because I've asked myself the question, why would people spend beyond their means just to get hold of these items? Yes, there is the cultural and societal pressures that we mentioned earlier in particular environments, but if we push them kinds of environments to the side, I wonder if it's down to screwed up priorities. I understand for some people that wanting to look the part at work or in social circles or when they're dating maybe feels more urgent than financial stability for them. But there's also another term that psychologists have put for these kinds of people, and it's called present bias. And this is basically where people will prioritize immediate gratification over their long-term financial stability. Okay, and also let's not forget the importance of financial education. Many people are not taught about the importance of saving or investing or budgeting, and what happens is they therefore fall into this cycle of spending on things that provide this short-term gratification but have long-term consequences. The pressure for a lot of people to own these items, to gain the respect or to fit in or to have people mark their success, is even so pressured that they will even resort to buying fake designer items. You know, they will spend their hard-earned money on fake items just to make it look like they can afford them. You know, and the counterfeit market, I've seen documentaries on YouTube and on television about how large this fake market is. That is the power that these brands have managed to gain, is that, you know, people want these brands so badly to fit in and to look successful that they're willing to spend their hard-earned money on fake items. Okay, so far I've really focused on the negatives, and I don't want to be that person who's just negative all the time. So let's look at a positive perspective on this, because, you know, interestingly, there is also a more practical side to this. You know, for those people that can genuinely afford it and they're not putting themselves under financial strain to get these items, then I can understand why some people do buy them. You know, for some people, they look at them as investments. For example, I know in the women's luxury handbag market, there are a few bags that if you can get hold of them, they will increase in value over time. I know 100% for a fact that in the trainers or sneakers market, there's many collectors that will buy particular trainers because the price will go up over time, and they look at these as investments, much like they would a piece of artwork. So there is that twist to it as well. And then, of course, there's simply that others will justify spending that extra amount of money because they feel they're getting better quality, and these items will be more durable over time. Okay, so to conclude, I think we have to ask ourselves one more question, and that question is, why are people still buying these designer goods even if financially they can't afford it? Is it as simple as just bad decision making, or is it more about human psychology, cultural influences, or even societal pressure? So what do you think, guys? Are designer goods worth it, or is it all just clever marketing? I'd be seriously interested to know your thoughts on this, so please be sure to leave me a comment below. Anyway, as always, if you enjoyed the vlog, I'm going to ask you to smash that like button, and also if it's your first time here, be sure to hit that subscription. It's absolutely free to do. We're a really small channel, and your subscription will help us to continue to grow. Anyway, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and I'll get back to you again soon.